Hello everyone, it is Jay from the GBUKJai and welcome back to the Let's Play of Croc the Legend. The legend, the one and only legend of the Gobbos. So, we just finished Shouting Lava Lava and we did the other levels. We've just started the adventure. Now it's time for our first mini-boss. Now, if you are interested, I'm actually going to give you guys some more tidbit info at the end of the part about this game. And here's Baron Dante himself, using his magic. Yeah, I mentioned before, he's like this demon guy, and the little Datinis, or Dratinis, that he has with him are demons as well. Right? I'm not 100% sure where they came from. I guess they came from hell, I guess. I tried looking into where they came from. It's just like one day, Baron Datini with his demons, the Datinis, you know, came along and just imprisoned the Gobbos. So, yeah. Also, I know the name of the bird. I can throw this out there as a bit of a tidbit. The bird is named Beany. So the Beany, the little bird that you know, teleports Croc to safety every time he hits the gong, is called a Beany. Beany the bird. And yeah, the whole thing with Baron Datini is that he's all magical. He has magical abilities. So what he tends to do, I guess because he's got no, like, I don't know, super ultra mega Datini other than himself, you know. He's not like Bowser. He doesn't have like little Koopas. I mean, he could throw just an army of Datinis at me, I suppose, but no, instead he actually takes like nature, like actual, like, you know, just natural creatures, like that duck was just randomly about, and he can use his magic powers to transform them. And he's essentially turned this into, I guess, Super Duck. I'm not actually sure if it has a name. I tried looking that up, but it's got a star on it, so we're going to call it Super Duck. You can call it Mega Duck, or whatever you want to call it. But he's really easy. I mean, it's the first mini-boss. There's a mini-boss for every world as well, as an actual boss. He'll run after you, and that's all he'll do. If he touches you, you'll get hurt. All you do is you just keep running away until he gets tired. And then you tail spin him, and that's it. That's literally all you do. Doing. But yeah, that's Baron Dante's whole gimmick, is that he'll literally just go around using his magic to transform like animals. And I think at one point, like, he transforms like this little kid or something, and you know, uses him. So yeah, that's pretty much his gimmick. So these animals are kind of innocent, honestly, but once you defeat them, they turn back to normal. Like, that duck just turns back to normal, and he seems to be fine. You know, Croc's just like, huh? I do like that. At the end, he's like, good old Croc. Anyway, so this is one of the first secret levels. Once you get all the Gobbos from the first half, you unlock the curvy caverns, which is one of the secret levels, but I'm going to be doing this at the end, so we're going to ignore that for now. So let's carry on, and let's go to World 1, Level 4, the Tumbling Datini. Now, can I just say once again, the soundtrack for this game I think is amazing, and I'd recommend, if you can, to listen to the soundtrack, because it is amazing. That's the Tumbling Datini, by the way. He's basically like a full Datini. He'll do like cartwheels and stuff while laughing. So there you go. Having too much fun, these Datinis, I will tell you. It's a nice little like orangey, sunsetty background. Shame the background isn't too great, but yeah, there you go. There he is. Where are you? Stop your nonsense. Yeah, they always come back. Like I said, you can't permanently take down enemies. I just got him, but he'll come back. They will come back. Already better than Spyro. He can climb without learning or having to pay money bags to climb. No, I think Spyro is better than Croc, but like the games anyway. But I still like Croc. Again, I still feel he's underrated. Right, so what we need to do here is we literally need to drop. This bridge will break, and we'll drop down right here, and you get a Gobbo. And that's why that door's down there. So you always go up, and then go down, and then go up again if you're collecting the Gobbos. Hey! Oh, damn it. Don't die. Okay. No! That's an instance of like, you know, you trying to turn around and the tank controls kind of being like, no, 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 no. But it is interesting to think that this game was meant to be like to go on Nintendo, and it could have either been a Yoshi game or essentially what could have been Mario 64. I mean, we got Mario 64, but like it wasn't Argonaut, you know. So it's just interesting to me. I never knew that. I mean, it would make sense. Croc, Yoshi, kind of look like each other. You know what I mean? I can understand. You can see where you can get the inspiration from. You know. That's interesting. I never knew that. I never knew that, guys. Oh, we got the flying Datinis. Yeah, there's quite a few different types of Datinis in this game. So you got a variety of them, but they're all. That's like the main enemy, really. Honestly, it's just Datinis. So we've also got these multi-direction platforms that. Teleport us around everywhere. Whoa! I like to tell us that we can go, you know, in every direction. 8 directions, multi-platform. Sounds like set up for like a new multi-console or something that, you know, you can play multiple different games. You can play the Mega Drive, NES, Super Nintendo, and I don't know what else. I don't know what else I would put on there really. Game Boy Advance? I don't know. I know there is a console like that. I was thinking of getting that, but I hear mixed reviews from it. Like some people say it's buggy because it's essentially like an emulator console thing that emulates like Mega Drive, like Super Nintendo and like that. But I was thinking of getting that because it sounds like it's something you'd want, like an all-purpose console that plays everything you want from your favorite retro games. But I mean, I've seen some people use it and that works, but some people are just like, well, if you can get it. I think one of them was called the Retron 5, but I don't know if it's the one that I saw. But anyway, we got the Tinsy there. The Tinsies, this isn't Rayman. I was playing Rayman recently, that's probably why. We got the Gobbo, sorry Gobbo, and we got all the crystals. So let's open the door. Poppity pop. Right. This one's not too hard, unless you slam. If you hold down the X button, like I said before, you just keep going. But if you just tap the X button, you'll lightly float. But if you want to know where the Gobbo is, because this is essentially what you're doing, the bonus stages always takes you to a little mini game trial that you have a chance of getting the Gobbo. Some are easy, some are hard. This one, again, if you don't slam, isn't that hard. It is literally the first box right here. So, you know, if you just want to get the Gobbo, just break this box and you're good. But if you want to get the crystals, which are all in the other boxes, just do this. Now, how I know there's a Gobbo in there is because it looked like there was nothing in there. When I do this box, there's crystals. You can't even tell that the Gobbo fell out, but it did. So, I'm just going to do this because, you know, crystals add up to a life, and I need as many lives as I can get. So, so this is my suggestion, because when you do this, you do have a little bit of air time. You kind of stall your air a little bit, your height, your jumping, so don't worry, you won't die from full height. And this is the bottom spit. Wah! 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 Croc's doing a little jiggle. And there we go. Bean me up, Scotty. And I know that's Scotty being me up, but that was a bad joke, you know, because it's called Beany. It's not called Mr. Beam, but let's move on to Cave Fear. Let's move on to Cave Fear. Now, I do have another question for you guys. If I've even asked you a question, I don't know. I just recorded this right after I recorded some Crash 3, and I was just like thinking about questions to answer in that, and I was like, I should do that for Croc. and so I'm just getting confused from that session. But if you have played this game, what's your favourite world? Now, I'm just going to say, slight spoiler alert, if you've not played this game, I'll basically say the type of themes of the world, so you have an idea of, you know, what the worlds are. So we've got your typical, you know, our grassy land world. The next world is essentially snow world. Then after that we've got desert world, and then after that we've basically got like you know, Baron Dante's like castle, I guess you could say, castle world. Again, think of it like Bowser Castle type thing. That's essentially what it's like. But it's a whole world to do with like like climbing up his tower and stuff. You actually go to like a dungeon area where you see like some of the other prisoners, or kinda. And I think even the music or the sound effects, you just hear like weird sounds. It kind of sound like people are like, help us. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. Like, it really is. This music's phenomenal, and I honestly think it captures the atmosphere really, really well. They're like, I say like some of the songs are very like goofy, but they sound very good. Like, you listen to this music, it's only be like a creepy cave music, and I love it, you know. I love it. I absolutely love it. My mum and I think my sister heard me listen to this music before. I put it on like my dad's stereo, and they were like, at first mum was like, some of these music sounds really like upbeat and very kick-ass and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, she didn't actually say kick-ass, but you know, we're very upbeat. And you know, my mum likes feel good upbeat music, so she's like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then it got to like this music, and they were like, oh, this is this music. It's like, I'm not sure if so you really want to put this on the stereo, and I'm like, yeah, like I love video game music. But then again, really, my family's not big on gaming at all, and that includes video game music. I feel like they're kind of in the sense of video game music can't sound as good as, like, you know, someone actually singing, you know what I mean? Like music tracks, like an actual, like, orchestra of people or a band of people. They don't think it can sound as good as that. But we have to realize is that some music tracks are actual bands. They're just in video games. But I don't know. That's just what my family like. My family's never been big on video games, honestly. So I guess I just don't see it. But yeah, like sometimes my dad will hear stuff and he'll be like, "That's jazzy music," and I'm like, "I bet you won't believe it's from a video game." Yeah, pretty good, eh? Even video games can have good music. And I just love listening to video game music. I mean, my big thing is like jazz mainly, like, and you can thank my dad for that because he listened to a lot of like jazzy type music. But like, you know, I like to hear jazz music in video games as well. Sonic Unleashed has some jazzy tracks, and my god, Sonic Unleashed that's another game with amazing soundtrack. But I could also appreciate this from an actual, you know, from like a non-video game stuff. So that's how you do that. You don't want to break any of these boxes. Now, I think you can break the other boxes, just not the one that basically is your stairway up here. But then you have to jump from this box right here to reach the key. And I mean, I haven't done it, but I don't know. It seems like you can reach it. Don't take my word for it though. If you are playing this game, I doubt it. I'm probably the only one who's playing this game right now. But if you are playing this game alongside with me, or just happen to be playing this game recently, please let me know, because, you know, I want people to experience this underrated game if you haven't played it, you know. Granted, I'm sure people are still like, you know, why haven't you played Jack and Daxter? Because I still haven't played it. And why haven't you played this? Why haven't you played that? Like, I think Jamie's still surprised I haven't played a Metroid game. And he's like, you haven't even played Metroid Prime games. And the thing is, they're the one games I'm not interested in playing because they seem to be more shooter. I mean, like actual first-person shooter. And I'm not into first-person shooters. So that's... But I've got not really much of an excuse to try the other ones. Like the 2D ones, like Super Metroid. But I don't know. There's a bunch of games I just haven't played that I probably should play. You know, I have a backlog of games that I should try. Really, I've got like loads of videos that I could do. Let's try videos if I really wanted to. But let's carry on. This is Darkness Descends. Now this is the last level in the world, in this world, and then we've got a boss, and then we can move on to the next world in the next part. I'm gonna watch out for this lava. Now, I think there are just crystals in this, but you can climb. It's very, very, very slow. He ain't no Crash Bandicoot. It's very, very, very slow climbing. I try and avoid climbing if possible, and you don't need to open that box unless you want the crystals. And plus, I'm pretty certain there's a Gobbo coming up, so you need to come up here. There's 2 crystals as well. We've got the red and the green, and then boom, Gobbo. Oh, it's another well. What we got in here, eh? What we got in here? This is like another mini game, like that one where it's like, hey, you know, can you guess where the gobbo is? Well, this one, the box have a mind. The box has a mind of its own. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm pretty certain you don't have a time limit, but you basically just gotta stop it. And how do you stop it? You have to jump on it. Doesn't matter if you touch it or tail whip it, you have to jump on it. Best thing I can tell you to do is basically try and corner it, because then it will most likely just, you know, go to a wall and then try to reverse and go around you. But you can catch it off. You can just catch it, and there you go. It's honestly not that bad. There is one later on, which is a little bit more difficult because of ice physics, but it's essentially the same thing, so that's fun. Let's take this arrow platform. There we go. Oh, we've got a load of bridges here. They probably should be burning now because they're floating on you know, top of lava, but never mind. Well, they do eventually disappear, but then they just reappear. Magic! Like I say, I guess if anything's unexplained, you can just say, but this game is magical, and it is, clearly. I mean, even the gobbos are... Oh, God. Yeah, oh, God. Even the gobbos, I think, are pretty magical, honestly. I mean, that bird is obviously magical. We can teleport you to places, so... Again, you don't need to get the crystals, but I like to, just to see if I can, like... Because they do tally at the end. They carry on. So, let's say, for example, you've gotten 50 from the last level. Then they count. They stay there. So then the next time you play the game, if you get like another 50, it adds on to the 50 you got last time, and you get a life. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And like I said, you're going to need lives in this game. This is up there with Rayman 1 and like Oddworld, just really hard platformers. Suppose if Mario 64 was like this, and it controlled like this, Mario 64 would be a different game. What I mean, like, I guess people would be like, oh, the controls are not that good. But who knows? It might have controlled better on the N64. Who knows? Again, would have been a different direction, especially because it probably would have most likely been a Yoshi game anyway. Alright, we got all crystals, we got 5 gobbos. Now it's time for something a little bit different. Now, if you weren't going for the gobbos, then you probably never see this, because there are actually water levels later on. Well, if you are going for the gobbos, this will be the first time you see basically a puddle, well, not a puddle, but like a pool of water. And you go down, you come through a tube, and this is basically the underwater sections in the game. There's not too many of these, but yes, Croc still controls pretty bad, honestly. I would say he controls worse, unfortunately. Now, if you tap the X, he will dash. If you hold the X button, he will paddle, you know, kick his legs. But, I mean, I would say if he kicks his legs, he controls a little bit better, but he moves very slow. But honestly, his movements are very, very janky, very stiff. They're not that great. So I'm glad that there isn't many water levels. But still, it's a shame that I feel like this is even worse control. But it just is, you know. It's a shame. It's a shame. That's the big thing about this game, the difficulty and the control. You know, it's a shame. I can see the flaws, but I can also see the, you know, the possibilities of this being amazing, like even more amazing, you know. It's just like, Croc, man, I wish you had better controls. Like, even if the difficulty was this hard, if he had better controls, at least then perhaps you'd be able to just get through the challenge, you know? But, Also, because he is a crocodile, he doesn't drown, so you don't have to worry about that, so that's good. He'll be underwater indefinitely. Alright, that's literally it. Really simple. That one there, they pretty much just give it to you. Alright. So, I did end it with, like, 3 levels last time, but the boss is right there. So, we're going to do the boss, and then I'll actually give you a bit more tidbits. Fight night with Flibby. It's time for the boss, the actual boss of the level. What's Baron Dante got for us? So, Dante or Dante? Dante? Don't know how you say it. I suppose it might be just my accent because I'm English. Oh, little ladybug. So yeah, basically turns them into like a gigantic fighting ladybug. What's up with that hair? Yep, and its name is Flippy. Now, I may have mentioned this before, but you don't have to get any Gobbos, so that's good. Mainly, again, it would just be crystals, like the white crystals, and there's sometimes chances to get lives as well, so I'd always look out for lives. They'll obviously put them like, oh god, they'll obviously put them like places where they're a little bit difficult to get, not too bad. But I do like the fact that the backgrounds are kind of very dark and creepy, like they're just like silhouettes of buildings or something, you know, and I just love the feel of it, you know. It makes it seem very like dark and intimidating, you know. It's like, oh, you're in the boss area, mate, you know what I mean? You're in the boss area, you need to know. Stop running around and giggling. Are you the Joker? Shazai, Susie. Kapow. The cracked platforms. Watch out for them. There we go. Woohoo. Yazoo. Yeah, so I'm just collecting these. I don't know if I'll end up carrying them because I might get hit, but we'll try. We've got 50. Atto. Getting that Michael Jackson. And here it is. You might have seen it. It's literally an arena. So you kind of have to, lure him, right? Then spin him. Oh, I did that wrong. And then slam him. Damn it. Hitboxes, people. So yeah, you kind of have to lure him. The more damage, well, you know, the more phases you do, he does change us up a bit. There we go. I like how there's a random crowd. Woo! This music though. Listen to this music, boy. Oh no 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 no! What am I doing? Okay. Oh yeah, and then if you get hit, he's like, yeah, 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 and the crowd's like, no. Calm down, mate. And in the red corner, he's flailing his arms like a madman. He's coming in for the hit, and he misses. Croc with the counter, and the slam, and he is out. The winner is Croc. Yeah, I don't watch WWE. I don't watch anything like that. But it's just a cute little bug. A little ladybug. Ooh, get off. That would be me. Get off. Beanie me up, man. Beanie me up. Alright, so that's the end of this world. And we've also unlocked the secret level as well. Let's get a preview of World 2. Ice of Life. I like it. And I already like the look of it. The snow levels are... I love the look of like snow in video games, but this game, you know, controls with ice physics. Ooh. So, before we end up, guys, I'm just going to give you a bit more trivia. So let's have a look here. Now, I'm not sure if I read this, but the lead programmers for this game were Lewis Gordon and Anthony Lloyd. I'm going to try and get some information on those two because I couldn't find any. The lead designer was Nick Cusworth, and the characters were designed by Simon Keaton. Now, the Yoshi game concept later served as an inspiration on the development of Super Mario 64, at least according to Argonaut. That's what it says, and I'm getting this off the Wikipedia. So, now something also to mention is some of the other games that Argonaut have done. Like I said, Star Fox, and this is Star Fox for the Super Nintendo in 1993. They've done various other games, but I just picked some games that I thought people might know of or a bit more popular. Alien Resurrection for the PlayStation 1. Harry Potter, actually. Harry Potter, Philosopher's Stone, and Chamber of Secrets that Argonaut developed. And also, my personal favourite, other than Croc, I Ninja, which is a platformer game that I did a very old video of if you can go check it out if you're interested. But I Ninja is basically just a platformer with a ninja. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, and apparently they were going to do an I Ninja 2, but they didn't. So yeah, it's such a shame. And also, before I end off, the music for Croc Legend of the Gobbos was composed by Justin Scavana. I do apologize if I get that wrong. Karen Griffin, Martin Gwyn Jones, and Richard Joseph. But something to learn about Richard Joseph is that he also did games for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. So that's something for Mark, actually. You know, another member of the GBUKJai, because he's actually doing a Let's Play of that at the moment. Yeah, he also worked on Elder Scrolls 4. And there are some others, but the only other one like I noticed is Theme Park World. And I never really played Theme Park World, but you know, I know people that have known about it. So alright guys, so that's my tidbit of the part. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give the video a like, because it really does help us a lot. And if you want to see more Croc, be sure to subscribe, because I will be back every Tuesday until the game is complete. And also subscribe, because we do various other Let's Plays and other gaming videos for you to enjoy. You got any questions, guys? Any comments about the game and the video? Please let me know in the comment section below, and I will get back to you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next part when we enter the snow world. See you then.